Guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Cayenne and I am in the kitchen because this time I will be cooking. My husband and I like to frequent a Mexican restaurant here and they serve this special dish that we always like to get. It's called Polo Margarita. Every time we go in there, we don't even have to tell them really what we want. They would just say Polo Margarita. We'll say, yeah, Polo Margarita. So they know what we want. And so when my husband comes home, I hope he's surprised that I'm imitating the dish for him because we haven't been able to go out due to coronavirus. We haven't been able to go out to any restaurants and enjoy our special dish. Let's get started. Okay, what we need is onion powder, paprika, cumin, chili powder, chicken seasoning of your choice, garlic powder, pepper, salt, a lot of sliced onion. This is about 2 medium Vidal onions, a handful of diced onion, some fresh chopped cilantro, fresh chopped tomato, and freshly chopped jalapeno. Clean shrimp, about 8 of them, 8 jumbo shrimp, 2 pieces of chicken breast, cleaned, Mexican sausage, a lime, half of lime, and cheese, any cheese of your choice. So now we're going to make our pico de gallo, and that is basically the chopped onion, chopped tomato, and freshly chopped cilantro. You mix all that together. With that half of lime, a small lime that is, salt and pepper to taste, and you mix all that together. And you're going to set that to the side for later. Now let's work on our chicken breast. I'm going to cut off all the fat. Then we slice it down the middle to make it thin. And then we beat it down even more to make it even thinner. So you want to have flat, even pieces so they can all cook evenly together. You season with your salt, your pepper, onion powder, paprika, cumin. Now you notice I'm not measuring anything. I'm just sprinkling on there. I just want to get a little bit on all of the chicken. You really don't have to measure because at the end you're going to spread all of it across the chicken anyway with your fingers to make sure it's evenly distributed. Chili powder. Yeah, I don't really like to measure. It takes up too much time. I just like to kind of like eyeball it. As long as it's not too much salt, you're good to go. You never want your food to be too salty. I can take too much of anything else except too much salt. Okay, and here's that chicken bouillon that I'm using. Again, you can use poultry seasoning of your choice. Any poultry or chicken seasoning of your choice. I just like the way chicken bouillon tastes. It has a good flavor. And some garlic powder. Can't forget a garlic powder. So we're going to rub it in really good so that Everything gets evenly distributed throughout the chicken breast. And then we'll flip it over and do the same thing. So once that's done, we're going to add our chicken to the hot skillet. You want to make sure it's good and hot so you can hear that sizzle. Because you're going to only cook your chicken for 3 minutes on each side. So you want to make sure the skillet is hot. You're doing this so that you can get the pretty brown color to your chicken as well as cook it. But you want it to still be tender. So don't overcook it. 3 minutes on each side. Although I know 3 minutes will pretty much cook it, I do still use my thermometer to check the temperature of it. We want it to be at 165 degrees chicken. However, if it's at 160, you can still take it off because it will rest and still cook while it's resting to the temperature of 165. So you'll be good to go. So now I'm removing my chicken and I am adding my sausage, Mexican sausage. Now guys, this is my first time cooking this sausage. I didn't realize that the consistency of it is it's not very strong. It doesn't hold together. I made meatball shapes with it, but I shortly realized that they don't hold up their shape. It's kind of like scrambled sausage, if you will, is how this sausage is. But I don't want it to really be scrambled. I want to have some, lumps. So I went for the ball shapes. Even though they're not keeping their shape completely, they are keeping their shape some of the way. So maybe 50% of the way. So I can work with that. And I am cooking it for about 7 minutes on each side because I want it to be completely done and I want it to have a pretty brown color. I also noticed that once I took these out and strained them, I put them on paper towel because they have a lot of grease in them. So I put them on paper towel to drain the grease. But I noticed that once they sit and warm, then they hold together better. So don't bother it while it's hot. You want to kind of wait till it gets cool, which we'll be doing anyway because we'll be using these later. So now I'm removing that because it cooked a good while. It's nice and brown. I'm pretty sure it's done. Again, this is my first time cooking those sausage, but we learn as we go, right? So I'm going to clean the pan with most of the residue from the sausage, but not all of it, because I think that I want to have that sausage flavor in my onion and my jalapeno. So I add my onion and jalapeno to the pan to saute it. Now, while that's sauteing, I season my shrimp. And I season it with paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, salt and pepper. And I think that my onions are about done now. We don't want to overcook those. So I'm removing the onions so that I can apply my shrimp. Now we want to cook the shrimp for only 1.5 minutes on each side because we don't want to overcook our shrimp. We just want them to have a pretty color. We want them to be completely done and we want them to look pretty as well. Because we don't want to overcook them because they start to taste rubbery. So we're cooking for about 1.5 minutes on each side. To have that pretty brown color. You see that? And And then we remove them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our chicken back to the skillet. And we want to put them very, very close together, as close together as we can get them. And we're going to add our shrimp. You want to have about 2 shrimp per piece of chicken. And then you're going to add your sausage. You see how they're still kind of lumpy and bumpy? They're not like scrambled sausage. They have a sort of meatball shape to them, which I'm glad for. But you want to add them on top of the chicken. Make sure they don't touch the skillet because they will stick to the skillet. And then you add your onions and jalapeno. Now, honestly, guys, you can leave it this way if you like. That will be just fine. Looks good that way. I'm sure it tastes good that way. But me, the cheese freak, have to add cheese. Now, I couldn't find any shredded white American cheese anywhere. I'm going to continue to look for that because I think that would have been best for this dish. So the next time I'll try to have that when I make this. But I do have sliced American cheese, white cheese. And so I kind of broke those pieces up and applied those to the top of the dish along with a little queso cheese. Then I add my pico de gallo on top, half of it to give it color. I'll save the other half for later. I put my dish in the oven on 350 degrees for 5 minutes. Then I take it out, and this is what I got. I think it looks good. What do you think? You see your sausage there, your shrimp, all those onions. We love onions in this house. I would really wish I would have had shredded American white cheese, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and plate this. I'm going to take one of those pieces of chicken, and we know that we have 2 shrimps on each piece of chicken and sausage on it. So we're going to scoop that and put that onto a plate. Then we're going to go back and get some more onions. We didn't put all those onions on this dish for nothing, guys. We want those onions. Look at that. Just like that. Alright, guys. So here it is. Now, what I do... Well, let me show you this first. That looks good, doesn't it? So you know on each chicken breast you have your shrimp and your Mexican sausage and your onions and your pico de gallo. And you have 3 tortillas. Just came out the oven, so they're nice and warm. And then you have your fixings. You have sour cream, some tomato with some pico de gallo on top, some lettuce with a little cheese on top, and some refried beans with some melted cheese. You can use whatever fixings you like, but that's what we like here. And usually what we do is just break the chicken up and put the pieces of chicken on, add our fixings onto the taco. And usually that one piece of chicken will make about 3. We'll fill 3 of those tortillas. So, because it has so much other meat besides chicken. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys really, really like this. Please try it and share with others. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and please leave your comments. Ring the bell as well. Thank you.